Hello everyone, I'm Max, and today I'm here to maximize your fear. So far, 2025 has been a year filled with many strange things caught on trail cams. From weird unidentified creatures such as bigfoots and skinwalkers to killers and to many other unexplainable phenomena. So today I decided to highlight some of the most chilling and downright horrifying creatures caught on trail cameras this year. Also, stay tuned for a special and very scary nature clip at the end of this video. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. So grab your I Found Bigfoot coffee mugs and allow your fear to be maximized as we recap the scariest trail camera clips of 2025. Mega Compilation. This new trail camera video captures what looks to be a Bigfoot. It was uploaded on April 1st, 2025. The uploader, Sunny Vader, states, quote, "Remote trail cameras were placed throughout the area at a native burial site known as Spirit Camp after strange activity within the site had taken place," end quote. So they were hoping to capture proof of this strange activity, and that's exactly what they got. Take a look. The proof is in the footage. Seen amidst the snowy landscape is an out-of-place beast. A huge, tall, and dark humanoid creature hiding behind a couple of skinny trees. The being covered in long hair starts off hunched over on the forest floor. But as the video goes on, it slowly raises up, giving us a look at its tremendous height. The video is relayed in slow motion, but if I speed it up, we can see the movement better. Because the creature is partially obscured by the trees the whole time, we don't get an amazing look at all of its features. Pretty much just its dark silhouette. Now, long before the term Bigfoot came into use in the 20th century, many indigenous tribes across North America had their own names, stories, and beliefs about large, hairy, human-like beings that lived in the forests and mountains. The most famous indigenous name for Bigfoot comes from the Chehalis people of Pacific Northwest, the Sasquatch. The word Sasquatch means wild man or hairy man. Descriptions often depict them as spiritual guardians of nature capable of vanishing into the spirit world. Another one is Skookum, which comes from Chinook or Pacific Northwest tribes. It refers to a powerful and sometimes dangerous spirit of the wilderness. So since this video was taken at a native burial site, it really does make it all the more compelling. Could this have been the Sasquatch, the spiritual guardian of nature according to natives? Let me know what you all think in the comments down below. Now here is a terrifying cryptid creature video. A group of friends were out late at night exploring a local park. They were just messing around and not taking anything too seriously, when suddenly they heard some downright weird sounds coming from the distance. They all looked over quickly and saw something they couldn't explain. Is that? One of the explorers quickly pulled out their camera and filmed the deeply unsettling encounter. Captured is a humanoid creature crawling around and leaping erratically, all while making some really creepy sounds. The noises sound like they're trying to mimic a dog or something, but something seems suspiciously off. Now, instead of running away like most would, these brave explorers pursued the creature. They rushed towards it, but it ran away. But here's what they capture. Is that? It's still emitting the dog-like barks and howls. Realizing how close the creature was to them and how they could be in serious danger, they stopped the video and ran away for good. But it's a good thing they got it on video, because no one would have believed them. Let's go ahead and slow the footage down slightly and examine the supposed humanoid creature. Just based on the way it moves around so oddly, most say there's not a chance this could be a person. And just look how long and skinny its arms and legs are. Cryptozoologists say this footage is proof of the Dogman, a creature you probably know all too well by now. The half-human, half-dog or wolf creature that is said to be predatory and dangerous. Also, the encounter was highlighted in 2024, but it's unknown when it originally came out. But it definitely is some of the most disturbing and unsettling footage we've seen. Here is an exclusive trail camera photo. A photo of what the trail cam owner claims is a dogman. Now the image is really blurry, I'll say, but it's still a pretty good one. Along with the blurriness causing mystery, causing even more mystery is the little information provided by the uploader. We don't know anything really, except for the fact that it was taken on a trail camera. We have no clue where, when, and why this was captured. As we can see, the trail camera itself is in a lower position, maybe strapped to the bottom of a tree or something. And the creature in the photo certainly does look like a dogman or werewolf. It's bipedal, with elongated human-like feet. It's hunched over and has very long arms that almost reach its ankles in this position. It has wide, broad shoulders and a large head with pointy ears and glowing eyes. Now obviously, we all wish it was less blurry, but this could have happened for many reasons. Maybe it was because the creature was kind of far away and it was pitch black outside. Maybe this camera doesn't have good low light abilities. It could also be from a very long time ago, when almost all cameras were blurry like this. But whatever the reason is for the blurriness, we just have to accept it and take what we can get. And what we got is still a pretty cool capture of the alleged dogman. From what we can see, it does look pretty real and pretty convincing. But lower quality captures like this always leave at least a little room for hoaxing. So think what you want about this one. The following deeply disturbing footage comes from a man named Caden. He and his friends were camping in the remote forests of Arizona when something unexpected happened. At first, everything was going as planned. But as they ventured deeper and deeper, they realized they were in too deep.
That was a female screaming, Phil. Please, please, please. No. Oh my God.
They're frantic as they hear ear-piercing, woman-like screams echoing through the night. Some viewers guessed this was just a mountain lion, but the screams seemed particularly human. The confused and frightened campers decide to venture into the woods further to try to locate where the sounds were coming from. They thought maybe someone was in trouble and maybe they could help. But this would end up being a huge mistake.
What happened to have a steel target? There's two. There's one right there on the ground. On the ground. What the f is what? That right there. What the f is that? Dude, that's that. Please tell me you guys are f***ing me.
They noticed one of their steel targets had been knocked down, telling them someone or something had been in the area. But then they come across what looks like some kind of strange doll made out of wood. It's just hanging there off a small tree branch. Then a high-pitched scream rings out right in front of them.
Oh, no.
You can hear the fear in their voices as they quickly rush away, running for their lives. But what they didn't know is that someone or something was watching them the whole time, and they were briefly caught on camera. Upping the brightness and slowing the footage down, we can see a light-colored humanoid silhouette hiding behind a tree. It's just standing there, staring, watching them. It almost looks alien-like or something. But what really makes this footage so compelling is the realistic reactions from the campers. You can tell they're absolutely terrified, and you can hear the genuine fear in their voices throughout the encounter. But no matter how eerie the encounter was, it seems we will never truly know what was out there. Could it have been a skinwalker trying to lure them deeper out into the forest? Or maybe even some kind of other malevolent spirit? Or perhaps a deranged person living out there stalking and hunting humans? Let me know what you guys think it was in the comments down below. Here is a pretty exclusive capture of either the Dogman or the Bigfoot. The alleged photo was taken in a forest clearing, surrounded by tall, thick trees. And what makes the photo so compelling exactly is the clarity. It's a rather HD image, giving us a glimpse at all of the creature's features. Apparently, a man was out hiking on this rundown trail when he finally came across this dark creature. It walked towards him slowly, standing its ground. This is when the man pulled out his phone, snapped this photo, then ran for his life. For some reason, the being didn't chase him. It just turned around and disappeared into the forest behind. Its appearance, though, is stunning. It's almost pitch black, covered in a dense layer of dark fur. It has large feet, sturdy, strong legs, and a wide frame, particularly at its shoulders. Zooming in and trying to look closer at its face, though, it seems almost dog-like. That's why some are believing this is a dogman rather than a sasquatch. It seems to have the snout of a dog and its mouth is open. But because it's just a photo, skeptics voice their doubtful opinions. They think it's just someone in a costume pretending to be a creature to create a hoax and trick the internet. However, some experts point out key features like its hands, for example. They talk about the way the hands are shaped. They both seem to be cupped rather than straight, which indicates these hands can move and change shapes, just like our hands. However, there isn't enough proof to prove this is a 100% real photo, so I guess we'll just have to leave it up for speculation. Definitely a pretty strange and creepy encounter though. What do you guys think? Is it a Bigfoot or a dogman, or is there another explanation? Let's go ahead and take a look at a seriously creepy creature video. It was a foggy night. A woman stepped out of her residence to check it out. Captivated by the ominous atmosphere, she stands outside and videos the fog, when she accidentally captures what seems to be an unknown creature running through the fog.
Oh my gosh. Look at all the fog. It's like a horror movie. Man. The street light. What the f is that?
She zooms in on the streetlight, and seen is what looks like a massive bipedal creature running quickly through the field. Now she lives on a very rural property with farmland. But this obviously couldn't have been one of their livestock. After she filmed the quick video, she was so scared that she shut off her camera and ran inside. She had never seen anything like that ever in her life. Now if we look closely, it looks like the creature was running on all fours at first. But then it swiftly and effortlessly switched to its back two legs. It moves insanely fast, faster than most humans. It seems the creature was using the fog as a natural camouflage to move through the night without being seen. But it didn't realize how close the woman was. Now because the fog blocks our view, we can't tell what kind of creature it was for sure. But commenters' main theories are the dogman or some kind of shapeshifter. A ghostly entity that can change forms or shapeshift into whatever it wants, like animals or humans, to try to blend in and go undetected by humans. Regardless of which theory is correct, the footage is completely chilling. Just imagine being in this girl's position. What would you do? As I was doing some research for this video, I came across this crazy clip. And even though it's pretty quick, it's one of the best UFO videos I've ever seen. The clip was just uploaded to TikTok on May 24th, 2025. It comes from user Quinn Canes, who states, quote, "Just saw a UFO, actually crazy. I've been on the watch and I feel like my life is complete now," end quote. Take a look at her footage. Quinn was out in a very remote area just enjoying nature when she spotted this. She claims this is the third time she had seen this exact UFO, and she finally got to capture it before it descended below the hill. It's just some strange rotating craft covered in lights. It slowly lowers itself straight down, something most man-made aircrafts can't do. Obviously helicopters and some planes can, but this craft doesn't look like any of those. It looks to be saucer-shaped from what we can see. She put a song over her original clip, so I can't play the audio on YouTube, but I can quote exactly what she says for you guys. She exclaims, "Who are you? What is that? I'm not joking." Then her video ends. In the comments, she discusses exactly how this craft appeared to her. She states, "It literally appeared out of thin air, like I don't know how to explain that." When people report seeing a UFO materialize or dematerialize suddenly, there are a couple theoretical explanations that could account for this. Some grounded in known physics, others in speculative hypotheses. One theory is cloaking technology. An advanced craft could manipulate light around itself, making it invisible or nearly so. Real-life cloaking technology is already being developed here on Earth. Metamaterials and adaptive camouflage tech on Earth already play with bending light. Another concept that could explain this, though, could be dimensional shifts or interdimensional travel. The craft may not fully be in our 3D space-time. It could be transitioning between realities or realms. Theoretical physics, like brain theory and string theory, suggests higher dimensions beyond our perception. So could this have been what happened, and that's why this girl witnessed it that day? The following disturbing trail camera photo comes from a woman named April. She reportedly set up this trail camera to capture typical wildlife. Deer, small critters, and whatever else was in the area at the time. And she did end up capturing all kinds of cool wildlife pictures. However, one day when she was reviewing the photos, one of them made her heart drop. The trail camera stationed on a remote trail snapped this. A light-colored man-like figure with glowing eyes. It's walking towards the camera, hence the motion blur, all while staring at it the whole time. The really weird thing about this one is that the rest of the capture is pretty HD. From the tall grass surrounding the trail to the trees off to the side, everything looks to be in focus. But the figure itself appears blurry. It's unknown if it was just the motion blur that caused this, or this is just how it looked in real life. Almost ghost-like and very slightly translucent. Now April believes she may have caught something supernatural here. Maybe some kind of cryptid creature or extraterrestrial, or maybe even some kind of spirit. One of the things that viewers couldn't let go is its resemblance to the infamous cryptid, the rake. The rake is a modern urban legend and alleged cryptid, described as a humanoid creature with a disturbingly thin, pale, and hairless body, with elongated limbs and large, empty eyes. It typically moves around on all fours, though sometimes it's said to raise to a bipedal stance, like in this photo. Definitely one of the eeriest alleged cryptid captures. But the question is, do you guys believe April? Let me know in the comments. The following disturbing creature video was just uploaded in mid-June of 2025. A group of friends were out exploring the beach in the complete middle of the night. They thought it would be a fun idea because they would have the beach all to themselves and they could practically do whatever they want out there. But as they explored, they made their way closer to a particular area. An area with a long line of big rocks that runs pretty far out into the ocean. But as they looked closer, they saw the silhouette of a pale human sitting on the rocks there.
Dude, what is that?
He zooms in closer and closer with his phone, and what is revealed is shocking. A white, mermaid-like being is spotted, sitting still. It has a human-like body, but we can see a light-colored tail where its feet should be. The explorers didn't want to get any closer to the being because they were so scared, but at least they zoomed in and got this pretty good video of it. We know this video comes from the US and probably from the East Coast, but we don't know where exactly. Now, America actually has so many stories of alleged mermaid sightings. Stories of mermaid-like creatures have surfaced through colonial times, frontier lore, and even 20th century reports. For example, the mermaids of the St. Johns River, Florida. In the 1800s, river travelers along St. Johns River in Florida reported seeing mermaid-like beings basking on the banks and slipping into the water. Another good example are the California mermaid sightings occurring in the 1800s and 1900s. Coastal communities near Santa Barbara and Monterey reported recurring sights of long-haired, pale-skinned mermaid figures swimming alongside ships. 19th century ship logs even describe these sightings, though modern skeptics attribute these to seals, sea lions, or hallucinations during long sea voyages. So honestly, we'll never know the truth behind these sightings. However, the fact that there are so many mermaid-like creature sightings all around the world, not just in the US, and they come from hundreds of different witnesses, it really makes you wonder. How could so many people see a creature with their own two eyes if it doesn't exist? And how do you explain the many videos of them around the internet, just like this one? So let me know if you believe in the comments down below. On May 20th, 2025, a man would capture some extremely mysterious captures on his trail camera. We don't know what exactly it is that he captured, but one thing is for sure, it's downright weird. Take a listen as he explains.
I did put out a trail camera in a corridor that I knew that a lot of animals were using, just to see what I could capture on film. I mean, if something was hunting, this would be a great place for it to hunt. Got a couple pictures for you to look at. Your guess is as good as mine on whatever this is.
The first photo shows a deer that seems to be on high alert. Then the deer exits the view. Then it comes back, but with it is a strange, blanketing white mass. It seems to be in motion. Foul Mitten Outdoors says it appears something is attacking the deer. And then the same thing is picked up in the next picture, and it seems this time there are two deer. But what could this thing be in front of the trail camera? Could it be some kind of visual glitch caused by an obstruction, like a spider web or piece of foliage or something? Or is it something much more disturbing? Perhaps a ghostly spirit, only visible through the camera lens. And taking a look at the next image, the ghost theory is looking more promising, as this thing looks downright strange. The figure almost looks like the skull of a deer or something, but it's translucent and wispy. I mean, I really have no idea what's going on in these photos, and neither does the uploader. And that's exactly why he posted them, to try to get some answers. But so far, the answers remain inconclusive. Viewers are torn between ghosts and camera bugs. And I'm pretty torn too, I have no idea. I do think it's pretty interesting though, and I'm glad he decided to upload his mysterious encounters to the internet. Here is an alleged dogman encounter caught on camera in Georgia. A man was out for a walk with his dog through the Georgia woods this day when he had an encounter that he couldn't explain. An encounter that scared him half to death. As they hike through what looks like a pretty overgrown trail, they spot something huge and dark.
Where is
The dog runs towards the subject, and the owner reluctantly follows. Until boom, it jumps out right in front of them. The speed of the creature is insane. It's so fast that he barely captures it on camera. Slowing the footage down, the creature is extremely tall. It's dark and humanoid shaped, and it runs on two legs. The man's reaction seems very genuine as he screams the second it jumps out at him. Right after this, he and his dog ran out of the forest, narrowly escaping the disturbing encounter. While Bigfoot is probably the best known cryptid in the region of Georgia, reports of dogman-type creatures have quietly surfaced over the years too. Often in backwoods areas, hunting grounds, and rural stretches of road. Several reports have emerged over the years from North Georgia, especially in the forested areas. Areas like Ellijay and the Blue Ridge Mountains. Hunters and campers have described seeing a large, upright wolf-like creature peering from the trees or crossing roads late at night. Witnesses often claim it moves with an unnatural speed and grace, and sometimes vanishes into the undergrowth. Sounds pretty familiar, right? But one specific report comes from a hunter near Suches, Georgia. He claimed in 2013 to have encountered a creature standing over 7 feet tall with shaggy gray fur and a face like a timber wolf. It reportedly let out a loud growl before disappearing into the trees. So could this video I just showed be another real dogman report from Georgia? Let me know in the comments if you believe in the dogman and if you believe in this encounter. Reportedly, a group of men were in Mexico. They were walking around enjoying the nature and scenery this late evening. But as they walked along the shores of the shallow water, they noticed a huge white mass just floating there, right in the water. As they neared closer and got a closer look, they couldn't believe their eyes. What looks to be an unknown creature is seen. It's absolutely huge, with a long torpedo-type shape to it. It has an elongated head, a wider midsection, and then a long, slender tail or legs at the end. It's partially submerged, and it seems to be a whitish color towards the top. But as you go down, it gets darker and darker, and turns into an almost dark grayish color. The explorers recalled that the strange being had a head resembling a seal, except it's more pointed and has larger eyes. And the body was too flat and long to be a seal. Seals are more plump and not nearly as long as this one. The explorers all debated on what this could have been. Could it be some kind of unknown sea animal that has never been discovered? Or maybe some kind of mutated seal or whale, or maybe some kind of hybrid creature? No matter how hard they tried, they couldn't figure it out. Some online viewers, though, are calling this a sea monster, like the Loch Ness Monster, except it doesn't quite resemble good old Nessie. But could this be some kind of different sea monster? Some kind of beast that lurks in the waters of Mexico? The whole encounter does seem very realistic. Aliens. We've seen all kinds of evidence that they may exist. From videos to photos to detailed first-hand reports to so much more. Even the US government holds court hearings about aliens and UFOs. because so many ex-government officials claim that the government is covering things up and hiding the fact that alien life does indeed exist. And at one of these court hearings, a supposed alien body was brought in and displayed by an ex-government official who claims it was real. However, I believe it was later determined that it wasn't an alien at all. But right now there's a brand new video circulating of a supposed alien body that was just recovered. And I will warn you, it's very disturbing. Here's the footage. What looks to be an almost mummified corpse is displayed. It has dry gray skin and slender proportions. It looks like it's been preserved underground for hundreds if not thousands of years. The most convincing part about it though is its face. If this was a hoax, like a prop or some kind of art project, the face is extremely impressive. It looks very, very real, with yellow protruding teeth in the bottom and large bulging closed eyes. Could this be a real alien body this time? We don't know for sure because the footage is rather mysterious and new. I don't think any analyses by scientists have been done yet. So if I hear more about it, I'll definitely let you all know. The video was just released on March 23rd, 2025, so it is fairly new, so I'm sure more details are on the way. But until then, all we have to go by is this video. This very frightening and unsettling video of a supposed alien corpse. Let's take a look at a brand new and very creepy video. On May 10th, 2025, a woman was just relaxing on the dock of a local lake. She was minding her own business, just enjoying the scenery. Then, on the bright sunny afternoon, something terrifying appeared in the water.
Hey, so I actually have no idea what the this is. All the way down there a couple minutes ago, I took my glasses off, I look up, it's right next to me, and someone help. What is this?
She says, "This thing floated above the lake, stared at me, then disappeared. Someone please tell me this is a dead catfish before I cry myself into another dimension." And I hate to break it to her, but it doesn't look like any dead catfish to me. She says it just floated, with no movement at all. Then it just seemed to disappear, and it was nowhere to be seen in the lake. You can tell she's genuinely freaked out. Many people took to the comments to try to help her and come up with an explanation. One of the top answers was something called a deadhead. It's a really giant log that floats vertically in the water, with the surface of it sticking out and bobbing up and down. This is what it looks like. This happens because it's so saturated with water, and that's what causes it to float this way. So many thought it was one of these deadhead logs with a tarp on top of it. But then wouldn't we be able to see the rest of the log under it, considering the water is rather clear? And one commenter quickly asked, "Why is the top so circular then? It looks like a literal head." Dead heads aren't typically round and head-shaped like this, so what the heck could this be? Also, how can you explain it reportedly just disappearing? She didn't state specifically if it just vanished into thin air or thin water in this case, or if she turned her head for a couple seconds and then looked back and it was gone. But either way, it did reportedly disappear. If this would have been me personally, I would have took the tarp off to see what was underneath. But since she didn't, it leaves us wondering, what could it have been? Something paranormal, a human head? It looks like we'll never know. This mysterious but spine-chilling encounter was just highlighted at the end of 2024. A woman is sitting inside her home, just relaxing and minding her own business, when she suddenly hears movement just outside of the window right beside her. She turns and looks and just watches. Then this creature appeared from within the darkness.
Я абсолютно одна дома, этот человек стоит неподвижно уже час. Он не шевелится и не разговаривает. Я не знаю, вызывать ли полицию или что мне делать.
It's one of the most disturbing things you'll ever see. You can hear the absolute terror in the woman's voice as she's frozen in fear. She doesn't know what to do except sit there and film it. It has a defined set of eyes that glow in the darkness, and a wide, cartoonish smile which stands out in the pitch darkness surrounding. However, we can't even see the silhouette of this being, which means it's extremely dark in color as well. The whole encounter is just so off-putting. Some say it could just be a badly deformed animal or a mutated animal even. But how could any animal look anything like this? The mysterious air surrounding this clip only adds to its eeriness. Where was this video taken, and what happened to the woman after she stopped filming? Did the creature just run away and disappear into the night, or did it stay and jump into the window and attack her? We don't know what happened afterwards, so these questions will remain unanswered. But amongst all these unanswered questions is a surefire statement, a statement I'm sure we can all agree with, that this video is pure nightmare fuel. The following trail camera evidence comes from New Mexico, the Jemez Mountain area of New Mexico to be exact. It comes from a man named Kirk Brandenburg who has the trail camera set up in the woods there. This high-tech trail camera also takes photos in infrared, so it can detect subjects from very far away if heat and motion is detected. This professional technology ended up capturing an unknown heat signature about 140 yards away, seen here in the photo. They took a picture of a human for comparison at 100 yards away, and shockingly the human and the unknown subject seemed to be similar sized. However, if we take into consideration the 40-yard difference, the unknown humanoid must be massive. Expert analysts ran tests and calculations and determined that the unknown creature is 15% taller than the 6'2" human. This would make it approximately 7'1". The uploader stated that it was a cold and windy night at 22 degrees Fahrenheit. They also stated that the area is very remote with no campers around, no hiking trails near, and everyone in the closest camp was accounted for. They also stated that whatever this was, it was gone the next night. So it couldn't have been any kind of plant or tree or something that just so happened to look human-shaped. Also, its heat signature was picked up, which shows it is a living thing. Also, wild animal trackers traced the area and found no evidence that elk, deer, or bears had been in the area around the time. And we have to keep in mind that it was over 7 feet tall and very wide. And it does seem to have a very similar shape of a Bigfoot. This iconic capture was taken all the way back in 2011, and it still stood the test of time. Still, no one has been able to debunk it. But as always, let us know what you think and let's continue this debate in the comment section. The following is a terrifying photo of an alleged alien. It was just highlighted on May 19th, 2025. The caption reads, "A Facebook user posted this photo and claims it's a gray alien, and it was caught in his backyard. Take a look." The very clear and close-up picture does indeed show a creature that looks like an alien. It has gray, reptile-like skin, a round head, bulging black eyes. It looks like the textbook example of an alien. Looking closer, the wrinkles and scars on its skin give it a very realistic appearance. And it also has no nose. Greys, or gray aliens, are the most famous archetype of extraterrestrial being in modern UFO folklore, also in abduction accounts and speculative conspiracy theories. They're short, around 3.5 to 5 feet tall, sometimes taller variants reported. They have slender, frail bodies, grayish skin, and large, bulbous, hairless heads. While stories of strange beings date back to ancient times, the modern gray alien concept took hold in the mid-20th century. In 1961, the Betty and Barney Hill abduction occurred. It was the first widely publicized alien abduction case in America. Under hypnosis, the victims described huge alien-like beings with large heads. And since then, many more sightings and evidence have been uncovered. And it seems like more and more evidence is coming out every single day. Alright, as expected, here is today's nature clip. But this one is actually pretty scary. A girl named Callie and her family were just enjoying their time at Brigantine Beach this day, a beach located in New Jersey, when they came across something deeply disturbing right in the shallow water.
Is it alive? Oh, Renee! Hey, what is that? What is that?
Yes, this is a real fish. One of the scariest looking fish to ever exist. It's called the stargazer fish. The stargazer is one of the ocean's weirder and more menacing creatures. It's a fascinating example of nature producing something both efficient and downright unsettling. The stargazer is a type of predatory fish named for the position of its eyes, which sit right at the top of its head, looking up towards the stars. This allows it to stay buried and still watch and strike at passing prey. Some species have venomous spines behind their gill covers and above their pectoral fins. A few species can generate electric shocks via specialized organs, a rare trait among fish. Now, even though this thing has some pretty crazy capabilities and it looks like something straight out of a nightmare, they're not much of a threat to us. But if you happen to step on one, the shocks and stings are pretty painful, but very rarely fatal. So definitely one of the weirdest and creepiest creatures on the planet. Maybe even scarier than some cryptids. A trail camera was placed about 8 feet up in a tree, looking down at the forest floor. The owner had put the camera up for usual reasons, to capture wildlife and to see what kind of animals roam in this secluded section of the woods. But what he caught was not the kind of animal he thought he would capture. An unknown animal that he can't make sense of. The creature got up super close to the camera and it would snap 2 photos. The first one of the upper portion of its face, showing us its human-like eye and elongated head. The second one showing us a bottom portion. We see a huge nose, slightly human-like but not quite, and a straight, closed mouth below. What really tells us this isn't any normal creature is the human-like eye though. Also, it doesn't seem to really have any fur on its face. It looks to be leathery, slightly aged skin. Some skeptics in the comments tried to rationalize this one and say it's a bear. But bears have hair and don't have eyes like this. The trail cam owner, who reportedly wishes to remain anonymous and also wants his location to remain anonymous as well, has no idea what he captured this night. What was supposed to be just an innocent trail camera project turned into something out of a nightmare. And even online viewers and cryptozoologists are stumped. Theories range from Bigfoots and skinwalkers to even extraterrestrial creatures. Now, even though it hasn't been concluded what kind of creature this is exactly, many believe it has to be some kind of cryptid. Do you believe? Is this some kind of undiscovered, nightmarish creature hiding out in this section of secluded forest? This terrifying creature encounter was just uploaded on May 18th, 2025. It comes from Williamsburg, Virginia. A man named Robert Earl White was out on his back porch, which is surrounded by dense, unmarked forest. The forest stretches on for miles and miles, and it's reportedly very remote, with not many people going there. He's pretty secluded out there. So when he saw this strange eye shine followed by a pale humanoid silhouette, he knew something was terribly wrong.
I'm on my back porch. I heard someone stomping in the woods. Something huge.
He says he heard something stomping loudly in the woods, and you can even hear this thing run towards him in the video. After a standoff between the creature and the filmer, the creature pops up again in the distance.
Off the ground, but I'm high enough to where I thought they couldn't attack me. The eyes were. There it is.
All we can see is the reflection of its eyes. An ominous, brightly glowing reflection, illuminating the pitch darkness. Then you can hear it running again. Now taking a look back at the first shot, this is the best look we get. It's pale, hunched down, with piercing orange-red eyes. Viewers quickly pointed out similarities to a creature called the rake. The rake is one of the more modern cryptid legends that has taken on a kind of urban legend status in online horror lore. The rake is typically described as a pale, hairless, humanoid creature with unnaturally long limbs and hollow, black eyes. Also with razor-sharp claws, hence the name the rake, as if it could rake flesh. It often moves on all fours, though sometimes it stands upright. It's known for its eerily quiet stalking behavior and its tendency to watch or torment victims from the shadows or at the foot of their beds. Unlike older folklore creatures, the rake's story surfaced in 2005, so it's one of the most recent cryptids to emerge. So was this the rake in the video? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. The following is some exclusive trail camera footage that may prove that ghosts exist. The trail camera was placed on the side of a desolate forest trail that not many people visited. The camera's goal was to monitor the area and pick up any suspicious activity, but instead it picked up some paranormal activity. The footage shows a man riding his motorcycle down the path in the middle of the night. When, as he approaches, his lights reveal a human-like figure. The figure looks to be a floating human torso with arms and a head. It has no legs, it's just the upper portion of a person. But as he drives closer, the bright figure disappears. The man stops his bike, thinking his eyes were just playing tricks on him. He gathers himself and tries to figure out what had just happened, when the shadowy being appears again, this time in a completely different spot. It reappears quickly and then disappears for good, and the man is sent running in the other direction. He just completely ditches his bike and sprints away. He does not want to be anywhere near whatever this was. It was clear to him that it was something supernatural. Commenters are saying this is the Lady in White, a recurring ghost legend in countless cultures. The Lady in White is typically the spirit of a woman who died tragically, often through betrayal, suicide, or murder, and is forever doomed to wander the woods in a white gown. She lures travelers deeper into the woods and sometimes appears crying or asking for help. She's often associated with omens of death or tragedy. There are so many other ghostly legends it could be though. But because the specific location wasn't listed, we can't exactly narrow it down. But what do you guys think? Have you ever experienced anything strange like this in the woods? Or even just had any kind of paranormal encounter yourselves? I would love to hear your stories in the comments, and I'm sure others would as well. The Dogman, a popular topic on this channel, and honestly a popular topic all around the internet nowadays. Well, I often scoured the internet looking for more Dogman footage for you guys, and today I found something interesting. An alleged video of the Dogman that's pretty clear. Check it out. The video shows what looks to be an odd-looking dog-like creature briskly walking through an open field. Although most dogmen are said to walk on their hind legs, this one isn't. But it's clear something is off about this one. It looks really muscular, and it has a strange gait. It almost looks like it shouldn't be walking on all fours, like it's doing it just to blend in or something. Also, its face looks terrifying. From what we can see, it doesn't resemble a normal coyote or wolf's face. It looks mangled or slightly deformed. Now, even though a lot of people like this video and say it could be the real deal, skeptics aren't so sure. Something about the way the creature moves and the video overall looks kind of like it could be AI or artificial intelligence. With the increase in artificial intelligence these days, it's harder to tell what videos are real and which are fake. Especially when they're slightly blurry, like this one. But I don't know. There's quite the debate going on with this one. Regardless, there are so many other Dogman sightings and evidence to prove its existence. From footage to first-hand accounts to pictures, there's a lot that could make you believe. But the question for today is, did this video make you believe, or is it a hoax? Simply too good to be true. Let's take a look at a brand new and unexplainable video. It was just uploaded on June 9th, 2025. The uploader states, quote, "Do you see that? I wanted to randomly record the sunset and saw something else. And no, it's not AI, and no, it's not edited," end quote. As she films, pay attention to the small human-like figure hovering in the open sky. Here's her footage.
Right there.
The distant figure looks to be human-shaped and even seems to be walking. It's just a really strange video. It looks to have a different appearance and shade than the clouds. Some were claiming it could just be some kind of really tiny cloud or something, but this really does look like a human figure walking through the sky. What the hell could cause something like this? Truly one of the most unexplainable videos we've covered on this channel. Some viewers believe it was a guardian angel watching over the earth. Others believe it could be something more malevolent than peaceful, like some kind of demonic or bad spirit. I have to say though, having the beautiful sunset in the background makes the video all the more cool. But even though this video is going absolutely viral right now all across social media, no one has a complete explanation. It's just one of those videos that makes you wonder and question life as you know it. Here is a pretty mysterious Bigfoot image. It was highlighted on February 26th, 2025, but we have no idea where it comes from. Though it's believed it comes from a trail camera placed somewhere in the US. A pretty low hanging trail camera, believed to be placed at the bottom of a tree. In the middle of the day, it captured this dark, humanoid creature walking through a forest clearing. The creature resembles none other than Bigfoot. The picture-taking trail camera only snapped this photo, but it's a very compelling one. It's honestly one of the clearer captures of Bigfoot we've seen. It has an ape-like face from what we can see, but its walk is too bipedal. And the hair looks pretty flush to its body, but it's a little looser around its legs. It seems to have a stomach that sticks out as well, a trait we sometimes see in Bigfoots, but sometimes we don't. Now, trail cameras. Motion-activated cameras set up in forests and backcountry for wildlife monitoring have been occasionally picking up blurry, shadowy, or tall, upright figures that look vaguely humanoid. These images sometimes show a large bipedal form, walking in a way consistent with upright apes or humans, yet much bulkier and hair-covered. Similar to the one pictured here. And some of these images have been captured in regions already rich in Bigfoot legend, like the Pacific Northwest, Appalachian forests, and deep backwoods in states like Colorado, Washington, or British Columbia. The logic is, if sightings are common there, trail cams would be the perfect tool to confirm their existence. That's why we're getting so many new trail camera pictures and evidence. Let me know if you guys would want to see me place a trail camera somewhere if I could find an area, and I could monitor it and update you guys on what I catch, and even see if I catch some cryptids. Just an idea, let me know if you guys would be interested though. The Titanboa is one of prehistory's most terrifying and fascinating creatures. Its estimated length was up to 42 to 47 feet long, and its weight was roughly 2,500 pounds. But just imagine seeing something like this, but maybe you could? A lot of people still believe these prehistoric snakes are still living on Earth, and they're not in fact extinct at all. There's even a brand new video that was just released on May 19th, 2025 that may prove its existence, when a man has a very up-close encounter with the supposed Titanboa. Take a look.
Oh my God, look at this thing. Can you hear that? Ooh.
As we can see, a very long and wide snake-like creature is seen maneuvering through the water. The man even brushes his hands against it. As it moves further, we get a glimpse at how large it really is. It's way too large to be any known snake species, even the anaconda, which gets absolutely huge. This thing looks to be at minimum 30 feet, probably much longer. The Titanboa was an enormous prehistoric snake species that lived around 58 to 60 million years ago, during the Paleocene epoch, shortly after the extinction of the dinosaurs. It's considered the largest snake ever discovered. It was first unearthed in 2009 in coal mines of northern Colombia, and it stunned paleontologists with its sheer size and implications for prehistoric ecosystems. It likely hunted large fish, including ancient relatives of lungfish and giant catfish. It may have even preyed on early crocodile-like reptiles and turtles. And it would kill by constriction, coiling its massive body around its prey and squeezing the life out of it, ultimately until the animal was suffocated or crushed. One of the world's scariest creatures to ever exist. And if they do still roam today like many claim and like this video may claim, we better watch out. Here is a video of what seems to be a real alien sighting. Some friends were looking out of their area just admiring the hills and mountains, an area that's rather rugged and remote. But as they looked out, something extremely tall caught their eye.
Dude, I'm telling you guys, that's not a fucking person, bro. Look.
That's a hiker.
No, it's not, bro. That's not a person.
That's way bigger than a hiker.
Bro, that's not. Oh, it just disappeared. What the fuck?
Just go, bro.
Nope.
The video highlighted at the end of 2024 shows what looks to be an alien-like creature. A massive alien-like creature, just standing there out in the wilderness. But then it just suddenly disappears into thin air. One moment it was there and the filmers were seeing it with their own eyes, the next completely gone. You can hear them argue in the video as they're trying to figure out what it was. One of them thought it was a hiker at first, but then they conclude it's way too big to be a person. And I'm pretty sure people can't just vanish like that, so it definitely was not a hiker. And when we freeze the footage and zoom in, we can see it's certainly alien-shaped, with its large round head, skinny frame, and seemingly greenish-colored skin. It definitely fits the description of an extraterrestrial. Now, I've talked about this before with UFOs, but it's said that these extraterrestrial beings and crafts can disappear and reappear. It's believed to be because of interdimensional travel and/or cloaking technologies. The interdimensional theory suggests that alien beings actually don't originate from distant planets, but from parallel dimensions or alternate realities coexisting with ours. These beings can phase in and out of our physical dimension, making them appear to blink out or materialize suddenly. Which pretty much describes what just happened in this video. And cloaking devices would do the exact same thing. It would make the beings able to disappear and reappear suddenly, due to light bending technology that makes them invisible to the naked eye. So is that what these friends saw this day? I mean, just imagine looking out of your window and seeing something like this. Definitely an eerie encounter. Taking a look at a creepy photo that comes from suburban Chicago. A man was inside his home in the suburban neighborhood when he heard some commotion out on his porch. So he walked over and got closer and saw something peering right back at him through the glass door. So he pulled out his phone and snapped this eerie image. What looks to be a dog or wolf-like creature is seen. However, its head is positioned at least 4 feet off the ground, way too tall to be a wolf or coyote. Some say it could be a canine on its hind legs, but these animals can't typically stand up on their hind legs unless they're leaning against something. This would mean we would see its paws or legs up against the glass, but we don't. Also, we see a separate eye shine coming from behind the creature in the foreground. So it seems there were at least 2 of them out there. Now, skeptics are saying this one is too good to be true. That the picture is too HD and too close up, and that it almost looks fake. But believers aren't too sure about that. Could this be some kind of mutated creature or undiscovered animal or something? If so, why would it be in a random neighborhood in suburban Chicago? Lots and lots of mystery with this one. I would love to hear if you guys have any theories. Let us hear in the comments. So here's a bonus recent supposed Sasquatch photo that was released with little context. The origin of the photo is unknown, so it's super mysterious. However, it was reported it was taken somewhere in Yakima, Washington, a very rural city there in Washington. As we can see, what looks to be a very tall and strong Bigfoot is seen approaching railroad tracks. It's said that a train was passing by in the late hours of the night, when its camera on the front snapped this photo. It's a super clear photo and it could be the most convincing yet. However, skeptics are saying the photo is simply AI generated. So what do you guys think about this one? Is there really a Bigfoot or perhaps even multiple Bigfoots roaming in the depths of the forests in Yakima, Washington? Let me know what you think. Now, in one of my recent videos, I included a bonus clip of me catching a huge largemouth bass, and you guys seem to love it, so thank you for that. You're the best. But I've always loved fishing, especially for bass. And recently I found myself fishing a lot, and that's why today's nature clip is one of my favorites of all time. A group of fishermen were out fishing for bass when something incredible happened. First, they see a giant spider gliding across the top of the water. Then they realize a bass was swimming right towards it.
It's going right through him.
Is the bass coming?
Yeah, he's right there.
Oh my god, he missed him!
He missed him!
Oh, he got him! I got the holy. That was cool.
Such a crazy video. This is nature at its finest here. The bass strikes the spider but misses, causing the spider to run for its life. Then the bass comes back around for a final strike, and this time it gets its prey. Thanks to the cameraman, we all got to see this crazy footage. The video was just taken in mid-June, so it's very new. Usually, largemouth's diet consists of smaller fish, frogs, toads, snakes, and mice, and small rodents if they fall into the water. But they do eat insects and large aquatic bugs, especially in spring and summer. So that's what we saw here. Now usually when I fish for bass, I use plastic worms, crawfish, and other similar lures. But now it's looking like I might need to try some topwater spider lures if they even make those. But I hope you guys enjoyed and thought this clip was as cool as I did. On May 5th, 2025, a man named Frankie Cameron would record something insane. Something so weird and unexplainable that it caught the attention of millions. Just recently going viral and making headlines, the video comes from Bonner Springs, Kansas. Check it out.
So, can somebody tell me what the is this? And I'm not using no app. I am on County Road 2 in between State Avenue and Gate 32. And it appears that little black stuff is falling down the center of it. Just weird.
Up in the sunny skies of Bonner Springs, Kansas is a low-floating black ring of smoke. It's a really big ring, and it forms a perfect circle. It looks super ominous, like something straight out of a horror film. Reportedly, other motorists were stopping and watching the spectacle along with Mr. Cameron. The dark, mysterious smoke ring slowly fades as the video goes on, getting skinnier and skinnier. Now if you remember, I covered another similar capture to this sometime last year. I think it came from Virginia. But it showed the exact same thing, a dark, defined, out-of-place ring of smoke hovering above. But the question we're all wondering is, what causes these rings? Are they man-made, or are they the result of something supernatural? Perhaps a ghostly portal, or maybe even a ring of smoke created by a UFO? It seems no one knows where they come from, a truly unexplained phenomenon. Taking a look at another weird sky phenomenon. This one was taken on April 12th, 2025. The uploader states, quote, "I was sitting outside and watched this bright light coming across the sky. I grabbed my phone and caught this weird phenomenon." Let's take a look at her footage.
No, that's something on the interstate.
There's smoke coming out of it. There's a freaking smoke ring around it.
What is that?
Freaking UFO. Look at that thing.
What is that?
It just shot out smoke.
It just shot out a smoke ring.
A strange glowing ball of light is flying in the night sky. Not only is it flying, but it shoots out some kind of glowing ring of smoke in front of it. It has a bluish glow, making it look even more extraterrestrial. As the video goes on, the light fades and fades until it goes away completely, disappearing into the night sky.
It's still showing up really good on the camera though.
That's Elon Musk doing the Elon Musk thing.
It's disappearing, but I can still see it on the camera.
People are torn in the comments. Some say it's a rocket, like SpaceX or something, returning to Earth. Others, though, say it's something more sinister, like aliens and/or UFOs. And I covered another very similar capture pretty recently, where someone was looking up into the night sky and captured a glowing light. Then it suddenly created a ring of smoke, just like this one. So the fact that it has been caught on camera numerous times proves it is a real phenomenon. Just what is this phenomenon, though? According to experts, when a SpaceX rocket comes back to Earth, it looks like a controlled high-speed descent from the edge of space, with some dramatic visual effects along the way. You often see a bright fiery glow around the rocket due to the extreme heat caused by atmospheric friction. This can look reddish-orange on live streams. To an observer on the ground, it looks like a fast-moving bright dot in the sky, often leaving a visible trail. During twilight launches, it can create surreal, colorful cloud formations due to sunlight catching exhaust plumes in the upper atmosphere. So this certainly could be a rocket of some kind. But most importantly, what do you guys think? A man-made rocket or an alien-made UFO? Alright, here is today's insane nature clip. A Finnish photographer named Lassi Rashienen is the one who captured the photos. Apparently, a wolf and bear pair were documented to be traveling, sharing food, and hunting together for at least 10 days. I mean, this is something you never see. Two completely different predatory animals teaming up. According to Inside History on Instagram, over the course of these 10 days, the pair traveled together and hunted together, between 8 p.m. and 4 a.m. They also shared food and even were seen playing at times. Rashienen also explained that this kind of companionship between a wolf and a bear is extremely rare, and that it quite possibly could be the first time this was ever documented in Europe. Usually in the wild, animals compete for food. Food is the most important thing to them. It ultimately determines their survival. So the fact that these two fierce animals demonstrated enough trust to feed together and not compete with food is so crazy. Not even scientists have been able to explain this relationship. Both bears and wolves are apex predators and iconic wild animals, but they're actually quite different creatures in terms of biology, behavior, and social structure. For example, bears are omnivores and wolves are carnivores. Bears typically roam and hunt alone, whereas wolves hunt in packs. And some of the most obvious differences are the visible ones. Bears are much larger. Depending on species, they can weigh 300 to 1,500 plus pounds. And wolves are smaller, typically 80 to 150 pounds, though some can reach 170 pounds. So all this being said, this is what makes these captures so remarkable. It really goes to show you never know what could happen in the wild, good or bad. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. On March 17th, 2025, some exclusive footage was leaked. According to the caption, these new allegedly leaked tapes from the government show what looks to be a Bigfoot. It seems it was taken on a trail camera, but the footage is shaky, so maybe it wasn't a trail camera? Regardless, here's the footage. The rather close-up footage shows a bipedal humanoid figure moving quickly through the woods. It seems it was caught by surprise and was trying to run away from the cameraman. It's first seen hunched down, minding its own business. Then it retreats when it realizes it's been compromised. It sprints through the forest and maybe even looks to be carrying something. The black and white footage has been going viral on various social media platforms, catching the attention of millions. But is the footage real is the question. This is the ongoing debate occurring online. One commenter states it's just as real can be. However, another commenter disagrees and says this is only the beginning of the AI videos people are trying to pass off as real. So, as I said earlier, it's believed the footage was leaked by the government. But we don't get a location of where this all went down. So there's definitely lots of mystery and debate with this one. Which happens to be the case with so many Bigfoot and even cryptid creature videos. As you know, these cryptid creatures haven't been classified by science yet. So it's not 100% proven that they're real, but hopefully one day soon we will all know for sure. Once again, here is today's wildlife capture to end the video. It was posted on June 10th, 2025. A woman named Hannah was out on a boat just enjoying the water. As they cruised through the mangroves, they came across a giant creature, sliding down into the water. A creature we know all too well, the saltwater crocodile.
I got it.
A very giant crocodile is seen. Luckily, it didn't seem to be angry, just startled at the boater's presence. So it got into the water to move away. This thing is unbelievably huge. Seeing this creature in person had to be such a different experience than just watching it online. Just being in the presence of it would have been so cool. The saltwater crocodile is the largest living reptile in the world. It's a massive, highly aggressive crocodilian native to Southeast Asia, Northern Australia, and parts of the Indian subcontinent. Despite the name, it's not confined to saltwater, and it's often found in rivers, freshwater swamps, estuaries, and coastal regions. The average size of males is 13 to 17 feet. But the maximum recorded size is 23 feet. They also weigh up to 2,200 pounds to 2,600 pounds. Some old reports, mostly unverified, claim individuals reaching 28 feet. Just imagine the size. And if that isn't scary enough, saltwater crocodiles have the strongest bite force of any living animal, measured at around 3,700 pounds per square inch. That's stronger than a T-Rex's estimated bite. Their jaws are designed to clamp down and hold on to their prey, not to chew, and they'll often perform something called a death roll, when they spin rapidly to break off limbs and chunks of flesh of their victims. All of this being said, I think we can definitely agree that the saltwater crocodile is one of the most terrifying creatures on the planet, and it has most cryptids beat in the scariness factor. Such a crazy creature. I hope you all enjoyed this nature clip, and I hope you enjoyed all of today's video. Alright, I think it's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did enjoy, go ahead and smash the like buttons, Mom. Let's aim for 5,000 likes for another one of these scary trail camera videos. And if you want to get to know me more, you want to see more of my spooky content, you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram, Maxwell Fear, or you can go ahead and follow me on TikTok, Maximum Fear YT. And be sure to subscribe to the channel because only 30% of you guys who watch my videos are subscribed. And be sure to hit that bell as well so you don't miss when I upload. And also feel free to check out my special Maximum Fear merchandise and coffee mugs. They're in the description down below. And shout out to my second channel, More Maximum Fear, where I post other scary content that you guys would definitely love. Alright, I hope your fear was maximized. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.